Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my first amendment rights vlog style. Now, I've made a lot of videos talking about metal elitists on this channel. I've said a lot of things about them, and I still have plenty more I would like to say about them, but I want to take a break from talking about them and talk a little bit about the people that I hate the second most after metal elitists. They're just as pompous, just as douchey. The only difference is that they don't go around calling people posers within their own group. This video is going to be about classic rock elitists. Now, before I explain to you what a classic rock elitist is, let me just explain that this video isn't me bashing classic rock. This isn't me bashing that. I love classic rock just as much as the next guy. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm wearing a Rush shirt. They could be considered a fucking... fuck that. They are a classic band. They are a classic band. So I'm not going to be bashing the music that did, help me as far as my developing musical taste went back when I was younger, helped me become the person that I am today. I'm not going to bash the music. I have nothing against it. I'm just going to be talking about these types of douchebag fans. So, a classic rock elitist, it's basically a fan of classic rock who will just, go around saying that classic rock is better than everything just because it's classic, just because it's older. They will call anybody who doesn't listen to classic rock, a moron or something like that, or like, a sheep follower of pop music or something like that. They will ride the dicks of bands such as Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Pink Floyd, The Who, Aerosmith, and numerous others, as far as legendary hard rock bands from like the 70s and 80s, and maybe some 60s bands, but not too many 60s bands outside of like Beatles, Rolling Stones, Doors, Jimi Hendrix. Those are like the only people from the 60s I listen to, really. Everything else is like 70s and 80s. First of all, as far as, riding the band's dick goes, Led Zeppelin is a band you'll see this being done most to. They will just be in full-hearted belief that Led Zeppelin is this flawless fucking band with the perfect discography, just like I said about Radiohead in the video I made about some of their fans. They will just refuse to accept what anybody may say as a flaw. Like, for example, how I feel about their song Kashmir. I think that song is so goddamn boring. Jesus, it's basically like 8 minutes of like the same fucking riff. Basically. The song is repetitive as hell and fucking boring. And that's just one example of a flaw, I guess, that I notice in Led Zeppelin. Don't get me wrong, I love Zeppelin. They were a favorite of mine for quite a while, and I still enjoy their music to this day. But Jesus, stop hyping the shit out of them. Stop hyping the shit out of other bands from that era. Just stop hyping the shit, please. Heaven forbid anybody have any differing opinions about these bands, even if they're still positive. Heaven forbid. They're basically just trapped in their own little classic rock world. They're stuck in the 70s, stuck in the 80s, trapped in their own little world, just unwilling to expand their mind musically, look for other music, because after a while, the music may get a bit boring. You may get bored listening to it, like I did back in, middle school when I had discovered it, and this is around the time when I was discovering more metal bands. I was getting pretty bored listening to the same old classic rock shit, and I wanted to listen to something different. This is also what inspired me, to look at different, genres outside of hard rock and metal, at some pop acts, some new wave acts, punk, alternative, rap, different kinds of shit that I'm into today. These people will say that, oh, that's never going to happen. I'm going to be listening to classic rock till the day I die. Rock and fucking roll. It also seems really close-minded that they just won't look past the year, I want to say 1991, or maybe 92, for any other music. Nothing from the 90s, nothing from the 2000s. they just, detest anything that's modern just because it's modern. They're either under this belief that everything modern is fucking pop and rap. Again, they're gonna throw all these fucking rap sucks cliche arguments that I already talked about. They're either gonna be doing that, or they're gonna say that all modern rock is either emo or post-grunge. Now, I don't have a problem with either emo or post-grunge. I already explained my thoughts on emo in one of my earlier Metal Elitist videos, and post-grunge, I don't have a problem with post-grunge bands either, really. But if you think all modern rock is fucking emo or post-grunge, you are delusional. There are so many good, underground, obscure acts from the modern day releasing music actually that are in the same style as your classic rock bands. There are bands playing in a Led Zeppelin style or a Pink Floyd style or anything like that. But they're just rip-offs. They're not doing anything original, man. Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, they were doing something original. It's not original anymore. Fuck those rip-offs. Rip-off, rip-off, rip-off. Fuck you. I forgot to mention the reason why I said 91, 92. That's like the year that grunge really broke out into the mainstream thanks to Nirvana. And these classic rock elitists, they're never the biggest fans of grunge because it's not really, like your traditional hard rock or metal from like, the 70s, 80s. It's not similar at all. So they're going to say that, that grunge ruined music or something like that. That's like a whole nother story. And also, like, if a classic band releases, new material, I'm sure that these fucking elitists are probably just gonna thumb it down, just because, it's not as good as X album. Like, for example, Rush, for example, they actually did release, a new album. Like, it's like a triple album. I think it was like either in 2011 or 2012. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some elitist fans who were like, it wasn't as good as Moving Pictures, or it wasn't as good as 2112. I mean, goddamn. For all I care, what if fucking Clockwork Angels, what if it was better than 2112 and Moving Pictures combined? The kinds of people that I think are worse than typical classic rock elitists are classic rock kids. People that were around the age that I was when I had discovered a lot of classic music. When I was starting middle school, I was like 11, 12 when I was discovering a lot of that music. These people are just going to, pan themselves out to be outcasts and act like nobody else their age listens to the music they do. That they're unique. That you don't see anybody else my age listening to older music. Look, kid. There are millions of fucking people your age all over the world who listen to fucking AC/DC all over the world. Even when I was your age, when I was in middle school, there were people who I knew from school in my age and in the other grades above me that were listening to classic rock and metal. There were people listening to those music too. I was not alone. And I didn't make myself out to be some fucking outcast. And, I didn't generalize and act like, everybody else listens to their fucking pop shit or something like that. I didn't make myself out to be an outcast or a loner. I didn't do any of that, and you shouldn't either. You're nothing special just because you listen to older music. There's a reason why these bands stand the test of time. Why they appeal to such a wide audience. They appeal to young and old, male and female, different races, religions, classes. That's why these bands stand the test of time. You're nothing special. You're just as regular of a fan as everybody else. So quit it with your fucking outcast shit. Again, don't get me wrong. I love classic rock. It played a huge part in shaping my personality, making me the person that I am today. But I'm not going to act like it's better than everything, that today's music just sucks as a whole fucking collective. I'm not going to be fucking trapped in my own little classic rock world. I'm going to keep on expanding my mind. I'm going to keep doing that because it is very beneficial to my intelligence. And I implore you, you should definitely do that too. I'm not trying to force any music on you, but if you really want to be a happier person, listening to different kinds of music, it really makes for more of a universal thinker. So I'll leave you with that as I end this video. Fuck classic rock elitists, and fuck classic rock kids. Yeah, I'm not saying fuck classic rock fans, just these elitists and these kids who just separate themselves from the world. Grow up. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.